Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of the Hoops and Hot Takes podcast. Uh, as we're recording this, the first round is concluding. It's like the last few picks, but it's like the later end of the first round. Let's be honest, nobody really cares. So, we'll start off the podcast by reacting to the important first round picks. Some things that people might care about a little bit more. And then we'll talk about some of the trades that happened this week, beginning of the off season, and then finally we will end it off with the start of our new series, which is we will be ranking. We'll just be doing all-time rankings, and we'll start it off this week with the top 10 shooters of all time.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started with the first round of the 2025 NBA draft. Do you guys have anything to say first?
Ryan?
Well, I'm really surprised that my Chinese big got drafted at the 16th pick. I think that's a bit of an overreach for him to be at the 16th pick, but knowing that, if teams that actually want him, they have to draft him early because the Nets have 5 first round picks and they're definitely taking them with one of those picks. So, and I think the Blazers had to take that because they didn't have like a pick that's more towards like the 20s. So they just had to take it at the 16th. But I think that he's getting the recognition that he deserves because, he was on a national team last year and he played in the CBA for 1 season or 2 seasons. And I think he's already a really experienced big. So coming into the league, he's definitely has way more experience than those that are coming out of like college. So I think from that end, he's already a very skilled player.
Yeah, I was just surprised that,
Mhm.
because I think he was projected like second round and then um just being drafted like barely out of the lottery at a number 16 overall. Also the Blazers, they have a lot of big men that are pretty young as well. DeAndre Ayton isn't that old yet. Robert Williams is also pretty young. And last year they had Donovan Clegan, who had a good rookie season. So it'll be interesting to see how they navigate next season with four centers on their roster, or maybe one of them gets traded, or we'll see.
All right. There's a few things I would like to talk about. Starting off with the to me, very surprising fall of Kasparis Yakachonis. Because I still remember, like, beginning of the year, we were talking about Kasparis Yakachonis as, like, a top 10, top 5 pick. And he went 20, right? 20? Yeah, to the Heat. You
Well,
know, in the end, like, I'm not that surprised because I don't think Kasparis Yakachonis is that good. But it's just sometimes people fall a lot more than they did than we think they would. And he ended up going after Walter Clayton Jr., who was like pretty sure before March Madness was like projected to go undrafted. So I found that very interesting. And then poor Ace Bailey. This is just another case of like these young athletes getting absolutely terrible advice from relatives and their agents. Like you think about Ace Bailey, and obviously, obviously I think like Dylan Harper is the better prospect. But I think that if it weren't for Ace Bailey pulling all these pre-draft shenanigans, he could have easily gone second or third. And obviously, we always make fun of like Embiid for not staying healthy. But like, if you have a squad of like Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, Ace Bailey, Paul George, and Joel Embiid, especially in next year's East, you have a pretty good chance of like making a finals run, right? Same thing with in like the West. You add Ace Bailey to the current Spurs, right? Like you have a good chance of winning a title. I just think that Ace Bailey with all this kind of screwed himself over, and now he's on the Jazz. And like, let's be honest, the Jazz are not winning a title anytime soon.
Hmm. Yeah.
I feel like it's a reach to say that they're like all of a sudden a contender that after they got like a third NBA pick, bro. I don't think he has that much impact
No, no,
for
no,
them.
but I'm not saying that they're a contender with him. I'm saying he would have had the opportunity to join a team that's already a contender.
Oh, that's not rebuilding, yeah. But he
Yeah.
wanted to go to the Wizards or the Pelicans, so they're not contenders. And the Jazz just has way
Well,
too many
yeah,
guards
that's the
right
thing.
now.
He doesn't want to go to a contender, but I think that's just because he's getting like bad advice from like his relatives and his agents.
True. It looks like he was about to cry when he got drafted by the Jazz.
Yeah. I think something else to note is that the Brooklyn Nets, they had 4 first round picks. The Hawks, they had 2. I think the Thunder had 2 as well. And 8 NBA teams did not have a first round pick. And I think that's pretty interesting because if you look at like the history of the NBA, usually teams like to retain the first round pick and try to get talent that way. But it's kind of a reflection of how the NBA is in the modern day, where teams like to trade away their their picks for current like win now situations, whereas other teams that are rebuilding stock up a lot of picks, like the Nets and the Thunder. Um, so it's really like a polarized state, and the draft is becoming dominated by certain teams. For example, the Denver Nuggets, my Denver Nuggets, actually don't have a single pick in the 2025 draft. No first or second round pick. So I thought that was something interesting.
Yeah, the Nets are definitely trying to like go off what the Thunders did the last few years. Just drafted a lot of young talent, developed them for like a couple years, 4 years, have a lot of bet on the team. Try to have the same thing the Thunders had this year. And also, on another note, the Nets just drafted Danny Wolf from Michigan. Y'all know him?
I do know him.
Too
And
familiar.
He just
as
got
someone who
drafted at the
goes to Purdue,
27th pick.
as someone who goes to Purdue, I have a very strong dislike of Danny Wolf. Very fraudulent player. Likes to talk a lot. Simply not that good.
I watched the game in person when UMich played UCLA. Their entire team was massive. They're all like stretch fours. The entire UMich team.
Yeah. They play like a huge two big lineup. Oh, I
And he's going to the Nets too. So well, the Nets drafted the Nets have 5 players in
Oh,
the first
5
round
now.
already.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because they got one from the Hawks.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's one more thing I would like to mention.
Yeah.
Ryan Nemhard has not been drafted. And this morning, the Pacers traded up in the second round to, I think, pick 8 of the second round from their original spot, which was like somewhere in the 20s, I think.
Mm.
Something to look out for.
I mean, Ryan
Ryan
Nembhard.
Oh,
Nemhard,
Clayton. Yo, Walter
Ryan
Clayton Jr.
Nemhard,
got drafted too.
Who got
He's going
drafted?
to the Jazz too.
yeah.
So they have like
Oh,
they have a million guards.
Liam McNeely just got picked by the Hornets.
McNeil.
Interesting. I think he should have stayed in college. I think he should stay another year.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ryan Nemhard, you may be an Indiana Pacer.
I mean, he's ranked like what, like 55th or like somewhere in the 50s to 60s on a lot of draft boards. Um,
Hmm.
it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I watched him in person last year at a game. Was really impressive. So yeah. But that was in the West Coast Conference, you know. It's like maybe the fifth or sixth best college
That's
basketball
true.
conference. And this is the NBA, so there are levels to it.
Fifth or sixth is kind of a stretch. That's actually you're no. What are you talking about? How could it possibly be fifth or sixth? You're saying that it's the best after the Power Five? Not a chance. It's maybe the 10th.
No, no, it's not the 10th, bro. It is
No, you're saying it's
not.
which Power Five conference are you saying West Coast Conference is better than?
I said no, no. I'd say it's 6 or 7. I'd say West Coast Conference is 6 or 7.
you're saying it's right after the Power Five.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty much right after.
You're saying it's better than Mountain West.
I'll have to look back and which schools are in Mountain West. But West Coast Conference, you have Gonzaga, you have St. Mary's. Those are two powerhouses in basketball. So, you know,
St. Mary's not a powerhouse. They were okay this year. They were okay.
okay, okay.
If they were in the Big Ten, they would be a bottom feeder this year.
Yeah, yeah, potentially. Big Ten
Dude,
is a
worse
big
than
thing.
UCLA?
What?
Worse than UCLA?
UCLA? I mean, UCLA wasn't even that bad at the end of the year, you know? They played some good defense.
That's all they do. They can't score.
All right. I just realized we've gone too long about college basketball.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we will talk about college basketball in the future, but this episode right now is about the NBA. So let's move on to our next topic. Because do any of you guys have anything else to say about this first round?
No, we
No,
can move on.
no, yeah.
All right. Well, let's start off with a big one then, because obviously Giannis has not been moved. So
Mhm.
the second biggest piece of this offseason has already fallen, and that is Kevin Durant. Gentlemen, do you have any thoughts?
Well, I guess I can start.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think this move
Let's
does
pull up the
help.
Kings trade first.
I'll pull up the trade first.
Yeah.
Okay. Does someone have the full trade?
Uh, Wait, wow, it got finalized with a four-team trade. Oh wait, no, it's not. This is earlier.
Oh, let me find it. Let me find it. Okay. So,
Hmm.
wait, this is not the trade. Okay, this is the trade. Okay. Kevin Durant was traded to the Houston Rockets in return for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, a first round pick, and 5 second round picks.
Hmm.
Thoughts?
I think the Houston Rockets absolutely won this trade.
Hmm.
Do you think that,
I, th-
Carson?
I tend to agree.
I would say if I had to say there's one winner, probably Houston Rockets. I think people are
They're
kind of
definitely the
overreacting,
winner. What do you mean?
and I think people are definitely overreacting on the Suns. I think people are like making memes and kind of making fun of the Suns organization. But I mean, Kevin Durant, he's like what? He's 35, 36 years old. He's aging. He isn't the old Kevin Durant we know. He's not that great on defense anymore. Um, he is, I mean, relatively injury prone. I wouldn't say he's incredibly injury prone. He still played a lot of games last season. Um, it's definitely a good move for the Rockets, right? Kevin Durant helps their offense so much, which was very lacking in their series against the Warriors. But I don't know. I don't hate the trade for the Suns. There's a bit of a positional logjam with all the shooting guards, but
They're gonna have to run four shooting guards and a center.
I don't think
Hmm.
they're done though. I don't think they're done. I think they have more moves in the offseason. They
No,
got
I think they're pretty
five
much
second
done.
round picks. They can do
They
something with
can't
that.
get okay, sure, they can trade away picks, but they
Yeah.
can't get rid of those four shooting guards. Booker's not leaving.
Yeah.
No one
Booker's
wants Bradley Beal. Dylan Brooks isn't worth anything. And Jalen Green's a young talent they probably want to keep.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly they'll do with Jalen Green. Part of me thinks they might be able to trade him again with along with some of the picks for someone else. Um, But yeah, they could also like want to keep him for the long term because he is a young player that has a lot of potential. Dylan Brooks, I'm fine with him staying, right? I think he can play like honestly, like shooting guard, small forward, like he can play
Yeah,
2 to 4.
yeah, he can do
I
both.
feel like he can even play the power forward, you know. So I'm not too like worried about that. It's obviously the Bradley Beal situation, but the Bradley situation was bad to begin with. I don't think it was really worsened by this trade. It's just something they have to solve regardless. So yeah, I'm not too mad
Hmm.
for the Suns.
I mean,
Yeah,
but if you
actually,
look at
I think
the
that
roster
after the
signups,
draft,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
okay, no, actually, after the first round though, I actually like this trade more
Mm.
after because they got the 10th pick in the draft and they were able to get Kaman Maluak
Yes.
out of Duke, who I think is probably the best center in this draft. And I just think that that's very good for them. Center is probably their biggest position of need. You don't want to be
Yes.
running out Bol or Mason Plumlee anymore, right? You can get someone like Kaman Maluak to be your starting center, and then you get a few pieces other than that, like outside of that, in like Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. And Dylan Brooks
Yeah.
is a good defender. A good piece to have next to Devin Booker, and then Jalen Green. I'd have to disagree with Ryan. I think between Jalen Green and Devin Booker, one of them is gone.
I think Jalen Green is gone, honestly, but they might want to
If one
keep.
of them is
I
leaving,
think
then
it
it's
might be
definitely
Devin
Green.
Booker.
Booker can't
Yeah,
leave.
Booker is
I
not leaving.
I think it might be Devin. Why is Booker not leaving?
I mean,
Booker's been their
he's
generational
been
player
there
for the
for
last like
like a
10
decade,
years.
you know? I feel like it's just
Okay,
anything could happen,
but
but
like
that just would be like a
yeah,
a
like
dick move
KG was at the
of the
Wolves for a
front
decade, and
office.
they traded him to the Celtics.
Yeah, he also wanted like he wanted kind of out, you know? Like Booker is like fine on the
Yeah,
Suns.
and who are you to say that Devin Booker doesn't want out? If
Well,
I'm
I don't
Devin
know
Booker, I
that he
want
doesn't
out
want out,
too.
but he hasn't expressed frustration or anything. So, I mean, for now, I like to assume that he is going to stay on the team, that
Well,
he's
just
staying
because he hasn't told Shams that he's frustrated doesn't just because he hasn't told
on.
Shams
Yeah.
that he's frustrated doesn't mean he hasn't gone up to Brian Gregory and said, "You have 5 days to trade Jalen Green, otherwise I'm gone."
Yeah, that's
No,
possible, but we'll just be speculating. I mean, also
Because
another
Sham said
thing.
he was gonna drop some bomb last night, but he didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, also regarding the Suns center position, like an hour before we're filming this episode, they traded for Mark Williams, you know, who the
Oh yeah,
Lakers tried to
I
trade
saw that.
for at the deadline. So Mark Williams, another young, talented center, has some injury issues, but yeah, they got Common and great player, can help him develop. So yeah, I kind of like what the Suns are doing so far. They weren't in a good place with Kevin Durant.
wait, they traded for Mark Williams?
They got Mark
I
Yeah,
did
with
not
Williams.
like
see
two
that.
picks
What
for two
the?
draft picks.
Yeah, like an hour ago.
What?
Yeah, and like not for much as well. It was like the
Yeah,
20th pick and like another for future first, I think, or second. So
I
yeah,
think it's a future second.
yeah. They didn't trade any players for him, just like 2 picks. So
Wow.
yeah, so I'm looking at the Suns right now. I'm like I'm not actually that mad, you know?
Mark Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, 2029 first rounder and the 29th pick in
Yeah,
this
okay.
draft.
Yeah, so
That's it.
The real loser of all this? The real loser? The LA Lakers. They really could have
Nah, they
had
got
Mark Williams this whole time.
nah, but then we would have
yeah.
given up a lot more.
They really not. The Suns gave up like nothing. This is like nothing.
They, yeah, the Lakers gave up more for him for that
They
trade back
did,
then.
yeah.
Yeah, the Lakers could have given up less. The Lakers could have sent this
Nah,
kid.
no, yes, yeah. The Lakers could have
We
used
don't have a first round, bro.
You have one
Yeah,
next
honestly, we
year.
could have. But it was kind of stupid. But like, we kept Dalton Connect for this, but we never even played him.
honestly, if you had Mark
Yeah.
Williams, Rudy Gobert is not giving you 27 and 24 in like elimination game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that in person, bro, with my own
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah. So
All
yeah,
right. I think we
should
can
we
move
give
on to the
him
next
should we
one,
give him a
or
quick
do you guys?
grade before we move on? Or
Oh, sure,
yeah, yeah.
sure.
Josh, you want to begin?
Okay. I think I'll give the Rockets a B plus,
Yeah.
just because there's always the chance, you know, of something happening of similar sorts like the Paul George trade, where like Jalen Green just turns into a superstar. And I don't think that's happening. I don't think any of us think that's happening, but
Mm,
that's still a possibility. And it's
yeah.
just possible that, Jalen Green goes insane and just makes the Rockets look so stupid. And then for the Suns, I'll give them a C. Just because considering the situation, it's not that bad. But like I still think you could have gotten more for Kevin Durant.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Considering what was given for Desmond Bain.
Yeah. Okay.
I would give the Rockets an A, and I'll give the Suns a C plus because I think they definitely could have got more picks out of this trade. They
Hmm.
only had one first rounder for this.
Okay. Yeah. I think the Suns, yeah, probably could have gone more, but I'm gonna give the Suns. I'm gonna give the Suns a B plus. I'm gonna give the Suns B plus, and I'll give the Rockets. I give the Rockets. I'll give the Rockets a B plus as well. But like one is like a 87, one's like a 89.
Oh
It's
my
not big
goodness,
of a
bro.
difference.
Oh my goodness, bro. This
And
kid's actually so
because
unserious.
let's be
What are
real,
you talking
the
about?
Rockets get better, but they were a first round
Bro,
exit last year.
name their
Right?
lineup right now. Name the Rockets lineup right now.
The Rockets, it's good, but they're second round exit, I think. I don't think they're beating the Nuggets. I don't think they're beating the Thunder. They're probably not beating the Timberwolves or the healthy
Bro, this is
Warriors.
actually just a Rockets hater right now.
So
And they also
they're
signed a
good.
massive
Rockets
deal for
hater
Fred
right now. What are
VanVleet.
you talking about?
No, also he just doesn't match their timeline very well. Kevin Durant is 35. The rest of the team, except for Fred VanVleet, is also like 25, They could be good for a long time.
Yeah,
Uh,
they're trying to win this year, bro.
I
That's what
don't
it
think they're
is.
gonna win this year, I just don't think they're gonna win this year. Kevin Durant's great. It's gonna be like another like Phoenix Suns, where they're kind of good for a while. Um, they might go to the second round, get absolutely dog walked by the Nuggets, like the Suns, and then Kevin Durant's gone again, or Kevin Durant's old and retired, washed. So yeah.
No. Give me one reason why the Nuggets are going to be better than this year. If you say Bruce Brown, like we actually, it's actually like
Well,
if you say Bruce Brown, we're moving on, like
I'm like
immediately.
95% sure Bruce Brown is going back to Denver. I, I'm,
I literally just said don't say Bruce Brown. I literally just said don't
no,
say Bruce Brown.
like, if I were able to
That's literally the only thing you couldn't say.
Yeah, the
Bruce
Nuggets
Brown
are
was
going to
the
get better
only
out of
name I
nowhere.
said do not say, and you said Bruce Brown. Give me
no,
one
what
other
is
name.
what is the Denver Nuggets team lacking right now? Literally just Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown comes back, it's over. Nuggets dynasty is back. All right, we
But
can
you
move
guys
on
are
now.
acting like you were close.
We,
You guys are acting like it was close.
it
You
was
guys got
close.
blown out in Game 7.
Game
You guys got
7
blown out in
against
Game
the
7.
Thunder.
Yeah, and you guys are only in Game 7 because they handed you two games because they
What?
were
Game
inexperienced
Games
enough.
4 and Games 5, Nuggets had fourth quarter leads. No. And we lost both, by
Yeah,
the way. Nuggets lost both
Okay,
okay,
games.
fourth quarter leads don't mean nothing, bro. The Lakers can lead for the entire game and fucking lose the game.
Yeah, and
yeah. Game one of the NBA Finals. The Thunder had the lead until .03 seconds left.
I'm just saying, the Nuggets came as close
Same, bro. It's
as
not
anyone
happening.
to beating the Thunder with
That's so cap.
with two
That's so
injured
cap.
starters.
The Pacers literally came closer, and our star player was injured like the entire series.
Yeah, two starters were injured for the Nuggets and a six man and Russell Westbrook. So I'm just saying, Nuggets are like it's Thunder like tier one because they won, and there are a few teams in a second tier. The Denver Nuggets are one of them. The Rockets might be one of them with Kevin Durant. I don't know if they are. They might be. Yeah. All right. We can move on to the next trade.
Okay,
This is
okay.
just
Let's
some
talk
like
about Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
peak delusion. Oh my goodness. I don't want to talk about Kristaps Porzingis. There's nothing really talking about. Like what was traded? Like two second round picks. It's like the Nets just fleeced everyone. They
Yeah,
got Terrence
they
Mann in the
got
first round pick.
they got Terrence Mann in the first round pick for basically nothing.
What did they even give up?
They
They
gave
give
up
up like
like
what,
two
2
second round
seconds?
picks. They gave up like 2 second round picks to like each team.
Like what is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Kristaps
I mean, like
stinks.
I understand this for the Celtics, you know. I think the Celtics get what they want, right?
Yeah.
And like they're able to like, you know, they get a second and they lose salary and they get like a decent player in Georges Niang. The
Yang.
Hawks got fleeced. Like let's be honest here. Like you get massive salary in a guy in Kristaps Porzingis, right?
Mhm.
Like I don't know. Like is Kristaps Porzingis really still that good?
Was he ever
Is
that
it
good?
like exactly?
No.
And like I know Carson really likes the Hawks because he has like this Trae Young delusion where he likes glazing Trae Young, you know, spitting all over that thing. But like,
Bro, what? No. Okay, continue.
Okay, I don't think he's the best fit for the Hawks, but it definitely made him better.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
This whole
I
lineup
think
is Trae
I just
Young,
don't know,
Dyson
man.
Daniels. Wait, who's their three again?
Risa Shea, I'm telling you, in a
Oh,
week.
Risa Shea, and their fourth is Jalen Johnson, and fifth with Porzingis. That's a pretty good team. They're really
No,
tall.
no. I
Are
got
they really a top 6 seed?
in
Okay,
a
they're
week
not.
in the
Okay,
Eastern
all that for like
Conference.
a 43 and 49 season. Maybe 50 wins.
No. They're going to be like a top three team in the East this season, this next season.
Top three teams in
Top
the East.
three?
No. Think about the East. The Celtics, Jason
No,
Tatum,
tell
gone.
me, Knicks, Cavs, Magic. Which one are the Hawks better than right now?
Knicks, Cavs, Magic. Hmm. So Cavs, sure, yeah, Cavs are better. Knicks, yeah, Knicks, sure, Knicks are better. Magic, I'm really not sure. Like
Oh
they,
my goodness.
I'm
Stop
really
it.
not
Stop
sure they're
it.
better than the Hawks.
Stop this right now. Stop this right now.
No,
Okay?
like who's better? Like who's gonna have the better regular season? Like standing wise, who's gonna have the higher seed? Probably the Magic. The Hawks just aren't very. They just aren't very good in the regular season. They keep losing to bad teams, right?
Yeah,
But
and then in the
in a 7 game
postseason, in
series,
game one of the play-in, my man, the Hawks got absolutely destroyed by
yeah,
the Magic. We
yeah,
literally saw
Yeah,
the
bro, yeah.
play-in game this year.
yeah.
Kristaps Porzingis is not moving the needle. You literally you were letting Paolo Banchero look like a good offensive player.
No, it's
Like a very good no, they made Paolo Banchero look like an elite playmaker.
Yeah.
Hal Banchero was a good
That's
player, but also I mean, that game's been a while. I don't really remember like too much about it, but I do remember the Hawks players, the role players, completely not showing up. The Magic, Cole Anthony and like some other like role players, great game. So I mean, I think that's definitely an outlier game. If there was a 7 game series, not one game, right? 7 game series. Who am I taking? I'm taking Trae on the Hawks. All right, Trae has
No,
proven
let me tell
in
you,
the
bro.
playoffs.
Wait, they didn't
The
have Jalen
Magic
Johnson
did
though. He was
this.
injured.
They didn't even have Jalen Suggs.
Yeah, and they didn't have Jalen Johnson.
They didn't
Yeah, they didn't have
have
Jalen
Jalen
Johnson.
Suggs.
Jalen Suggs he's a good
Okay,
defender and he can pass the ball.
okay, but the Magic
Like
didn't have
not
Jalen
Jalen Johnson.
Suggs.
He's not Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson's their second scorer.
Yeah, yeah, but he would be Trae Young's primary defender, and Trae Young was awful without
Yeah,
Jalen
Trae
Suggs
Young also had
defending
a
him.
bad game, outlier. Because we know in big games, Trae
Yeah,
Young is one of the best big game players, one of the clutchest players in the league. We know that. He had a bad game. That happens. But will
well,
he have it
I
again?
don't. I'm not
I'm
sure I know
betting
that
he's not
anymore because
having it
he had
again.
2 straight terrible games in the play-in.
If
He
they
had
were to
two
have
straight
that rematch,
terrible games in the play-in.
well, yeah, they also played in Miami Heat. Like, I feel like that's just not a very good matchup for Trae Young.
Yeah,
But
he got outplayed by Tyler Hero.
oh, and Davion Mitchell, great defender. I love Davion Mitchell. But uh, come on. The Hawks next year, if they make it to the playoffs, like without the play-in, because they're always in the play-in for some reason, because they're just a bad regular season team. They make it to the playoffs, they're going to the second round. I don't care who they're playing. They're making the playoffs. They're winning their first round matchup. Assuming they're all healthy,
To Ryan and all the viewers, this is what I mean when like Carson has this thing for Trae Young where he really glazes and
It's
spits
not
on
even
that
just
thing.
Trae Young. Wait, let me tell you who else is on their roster. Dyson Daniels,
Oh my God.
as a guard,
This
right?
conversation
Was
is over.
in
This
conversation for defensive.
Yeah, let's move on,
conversation
Carson. Let's
is
move on,
over.
Carson.
Yeah.
This conversation is over. let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we talked
I
enough
have
about
things
the
to say,
Pistons. We
so you
can
guys
move
can go
on.
first.
Huh?
Drew Holiday to the Trailblazers.
Oh, right, that trade too. I mean, they're definitely. I think the Blazers are definitely gonna try to either trade him or waive him. There's no way they're keeping him, I think.
That's what I thought as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The Celtics really said, we want our ring. Here, Blazers, you can have him back.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Blazers really said yes. Like, what are the Blazers doing, bro?
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, Celtics leftovers. I would like some of that. Log in. You are not a serious NBA team right now. You really just did that?
They're
Oh
trying
my
to get
goodness,
rid of
bro.
Anthony Simons. They don't need him no more because they have way too many guards to develop,
Yeah.
and he's so inconsistent. It's
Then
actually
just
crazy.
cut him. Then just
Why didn't get someone in return?
cut
How would you cut him? Yeah, of course you trade him
him.
for some.
If you just cut him, you would not have to give up picks.
That's true. They
That
did give up like
contract,
second round
and they
pick.
had to give up picks.
Yeah, they gave like 2 second round picks.
They had to give up picks, and they have to take on Drew Holiday's contract. I'm not sure they got better.
Yeah. Yeah. My concern though is the Blazers do want to keep Drew Holiday. And if I'm a Blazers fan, I'm scared. Because what does that mean? That means the team is getting desperate. They haven't had any success for like 4 or 5 years since Dame has been traded. And even before that last season with Dame, they weren't good anymore, right? And so now they're desperate just to make the play-in again, just to make the postseason. And this seems like a desperation move if they do in fact want to keep Drew Holiday. Because they did have a good second half of the season. So they must be thinking, oh, we might be able to make the play-in. And maybe they do. But we all know it's just like they're not going to go very far. So it is an interesting move.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also, like, if you think of like the trade in the grand scheme of things, they gave up Damian Lillard and Anthony Simons and like a few picks in return for what? Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, DeAndre Ayton, and Drew Holiday. They got fleeced.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
What are the Portland Trailblazers doing?
We're gonna take a quick break here.
Somebody needs to sell the team or get fired.
We're gonna take a quick break
Okay.
here.
Okay. Well, now I think we have to talk a little bit about the Celtics and what these two trades mean for the Celtics team. And I think you get back like Georges Niang, Anthony Simons, and like 3 second-round picks.
Mhm.
Thoughts?
Well, I thought we just talked about this.
I can start.
Not this.
No. But like, I don't think we talked about the Celtics. We talked about the other two
Oh,
teams.
okay.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead.
So I really like this thing about second-round picks because I don't know, maybe my view on second-round picks is different than most people, but I think second-round picks are very valuable.
Yeah.
Because you get players, you're able to get players, especially if you draft correctly. You draft like these 4-year college players, 4-year starters that have been to deep March Madness runs and that can be good role players for extremely cheap contracts. Second-round contracts are like insanely cheap. And if they don't work out, it literally doesn't matter. So that's why I really like second-round picks. Like if you look at the Pacers, Andrew Nembhard was a second-round pick.
Mhm.
Like that's like obviously the best case scenario. Oh, best case scenario obviously is like Jokic.
Yeah.
But like that's a very good case scenario. Right? Like when you're like taking these shots on second-round picks, you're normally like you're not expecting Nikola Jokic. You're trying to get like Andrew Nembhard, right? And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So yeah, I really like just when your team is like heavy in salary, just like collecting second round picks, I think is a very good strategy and like a good way to deal with like the dangers of the second apron.
Yeah. Okay. But now I have a question.
And also, I just
Okay.
really think
Sorry.
that okay.
Yeah. No, you can continue.
What was the question?
Okay. I'll ask the question then.
Okay.
Because
And then
you're
Anthony
saying.
Simons, okay, ask the question.
Okay. Yeah. So because you're saying you really like second round picks, but earlier with the Kevin Durant trade, 5 second round picks, and you said, oh no, that's bad. So I mean, like, how much do you really like
Yeah,
picks?
because it's different. Because no, I like it for a team that's trying to trying to fight against the second apron, right? The Rockets aren't really at that point. The Rockets aren't really like at the second apron, are they?
No, I mean for a team that's receiving the second
I
round.
could be wrong.
The Celtics are receiving like what, 2 or 3 second round picks. The Rockets, not the Rockets, the Suns received
Yeah,
5
that's
with Kevin
because
Durant.
that's because they're trying to that's because they're trying to stay out of the second apron, right?
Yeah, for the Celtics, yeah.
And they're trying to get good role players. But like the uh the Rockets don't really have that issue because first of all, I don't think they're in the second apron yet. And also, they're not really
Yeah, I mean,
broke now.
the Suns, yeah, not the Rockets, the Suns, yeah.
Oh, the Suns. My
Yeah.
bad. Yes, you're right. Again, after the KD trade, I'm not sure the Suns second round picks are good if you have your stars in place and you're just trying to fill around role players. But the
Mm.
Suns don't really have their stars in place. They
Okay.
have they have Devin Booker and what else do they have?
Bradley Beal. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Their stars aren't really in place. You're not at that step of filling in role players around and building around your stars yet.
Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, that was more so like a clarifying question. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Do you guys have any thoughts?
Oh wow, I just
No,
realized that
Anthony.
that background noise was really loud, and now it's like gone, you know? It's like something was going on outside.
I didn't hear anything.
Okay, well that's fine. Yeah, Ryan, Celtics.
I don't have much to say about it. I just think it's not that big of a deal, honestly. It didn't change much.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say the same. Like I like it, obviously. They're not gonna they're probably not gonna contend next year with Jason Tatum out. There's no
Yeah.
reason to have all the pay all the salaries, dump
And they
some.
already did all this. There's no reason to rush Tatum back
Yeah,
because like
exactly.
he's definitely missing the entire season. Then.
Mhm, mhm. And they get like some second round picks, which isn't bad. And Niang, who else did they get? Did you just get Niang?
Just need
Okay. I mean Niang's a solid player. He's a solid role player. Like he doesn't look like very good, but like he's got that chubby build. But
yeah. He doesn't look like an NBA player.
yeah, but
He hits the threes. But he hits the threes
he has
and
the
those floaters.
threes. He can yeah he's a solid player. So
Is there another trade
Okay.
to talk about?
I think the last trade, there's one more trade, right?
I think there is one more trade.
The last trade. Jordan Poole
Yeah.
was traded.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. For CJ.
Jordan Poole was traded to
The Washington. Oh no, he was traded too.
To the
CJ
Pelicans.
McCollum
Yeah.
and Kelly Olynyk. And I think there was some picks like involved. I
Yeah.
don't remember exactly what picks they were.
The
I think
Wizards finally gave up.
I think the Pelicans got some picks. Did they?
I think so.
Yeah, I think the Pelicans got some picks. I mean, the Wizards is interesting because it's like an injured retirement home now. There's all these old
Yeah.
injured Wash players.
CJ, Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They both can only play
Yeah,
like
I just
20
feel like they're
minutes
not
a
very
game.
serious.
Malcolm Brogdon still on the
Kind of
team.
unserious.
They're not serious at all right now.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they're all healthy for one season. And
Oh, they also got Sadiq Bey.
oh yeah, they got Sadiq Bey.
But
Wait, who got Sadiq Bey?
he had half a good season with the Pistons
Oh, the
and then he
Pelicans
just
got Sadiq
disappeared.
Bey. Yeah, Sadiq Bey he was like, oh, he might be the next guy, like he's
Yeah, and
got
he
he's
disappeared.
got some talent
He injured after that. He
half
got
the
injured
season.
after that too.
Yeah, and he kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I think this is a great trade for the Pelicans.
Yeah, yeah,
It's okay. It's
it's
okay. I
okay.
just think it's like a last ditch effort to try to justify keeping Zion, you know.
If there's
But
like
like
baddies
you
playing
kind
up
of
to the
got
court
two
tonight,
unserious
imagine Zion
players
and
playing together now.
That is true.
No, that the thing is that's not going to be good. 'Cause I feel like you can only have one like baddie riser on your team. Because otherwise, like think about this scenario, okay? Okay, Pelicans, it's like February. They go into MSG and Suni Lee is there. Okay? Both Jordan Poole and Zion Williamson are going to want the ball to do something crazy. And so both of them are going into ball hog mode. And I'm telling you, they might start fighting each other.
Zion throwing the punch.
Yeah. And Jordan Poole is going to get punched. And
Poole's getting
I'm just
punched
saying,
again.
this idea of when baddies are on the court,
Hmm.
do not rely on it. I'm saying there's much more room for this to go bad than there is to go good.
The Pelicans are talented.
Okay. Well, I think that's about it to talk about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Who
are
do you think?
talented.
Wait,
They got
actually,
what's their starting lineup now? It's like Jordan Poole,
DeJounte
DeJounte
Murray.
Murray.
Is he gonna be ready for the season? He got injured at the end of the last season.
Oh, was that at the end?
Yeah.
Maybe he'll miss a bit. But
Hey,
if
the Pelicans drafted Jeremiah Fears, 7th pick.
mm, they still have Herb Jones.
They also got Derek Queen.
Oh, and Trey Murphy. But I think he's getting traded. But yeah, they still have Trey
They
Murphy.
do still have Herb Jones and Trey Murphy.
Yeah, Trey Murphy and Herb Jones.
But the Pelicans had 3 first-round picks in this draft.
Yeah, another team with multiple first round picks.
Dang.
And don't forget Grand Theft Alvarado.
Yeah, and they still have Alvarado. So and they're not bad. And remember they were in the playoffs or playing like 2 seasons ago, like the season before this past season.
Yeah, they won the play-in, and they were
Yeah.
the 8th seed and got
They played the
swept
Thunder.
by the
They
Thunder.
played the Thunder. Yeah.
And got
They got
swept.
swept.
Got
Yeah,
swept.
they got swept. But so I mean, I think the Pelicans could return to the play-in potentially. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think this trade really matters all that much. I'm sure you guys would agree.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we can move on to the next
I'm
one.
just unserious players going together. It's I actually thought that Ace Bailey was going to the Hornets. That would have been peak unseriousness. LaMelo Ball with Ace Bailey. Oh my goodness. Actually just clip farming all day.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the top 10 shooters of all time. Carson, do you have a spreadsheet thing prepared or no?
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of introduced this format that we're gonna have for this series. This series is gonna be called the all-time series. It's basically ranking all-time players in different metrics. So we're gonna talk about the greatest rebounders of all time, the greatest defenders of all time, the greatest shooters of all time, which we're doing today. And then we're gonna end the series with, the greatest players of all time, to go debate, right? How we're gonna do it is we're each going to have our own rank, and then we're gonna average them out and present them, in that final average ranking. So yeah, we're gonna move to the spreadsheet now for the greatest shooters of all time. Let me just share the screen really quick. Oh, wait. Okay. Y'all can see this, right? Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see this. Yep.
What is Karl Anthony Towns doing on this list?
So I pretty much just added anyone that
Trevor Ariza. Oh my goodness.
even remotely
You
beat
put
in
Trevor
this
Ariza.
top 10 debate. I think there's some people that are definitely missing on the list. So you might say, okay, Trevor Ariza shouldn't be on here, or someone else might be. That's fine. Trevor Ariza's not going to end up in the top 10. I just put him.
Mike Conley.
Why not?
He can barely average 1 3-pointer a game, bro.
Yeah, so Mike Conley, he probably doesn't deserve to be on the list as well. Because I kind of just went down the.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
Uh,
It's good. It's good. We can
Yeah,
talk.
yeah. So
I think it's gonna be unanimous that Steph Curry's gonna be the
Okay.
first.
yeah.
So-
Steph, I'm putting 1.
Yeah,
Josh,
definitely.
all right, 1. Okay.
All right. So let's start at 10 and we'll each reveal our 10, 9, 8. And we'll
Yeah,
all
okay.
go until 2. Because obviously I think we all have Steph at 1. So I'll go first. At
Actually,
10,
can we go from 1?
I
Can we
have
go from
Steve
1 to
Kerr.
10? Can we go from 1 to 10?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not as fun though.
So
I
now it's
like
more
going
fun if
from
we
10 to
start at the
1.
end. We should start at the end.
We
Yeah.
start at the end? Okay, let's start at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at 10, I have Steve Kerr.
Mhm.
At 9, I have Kyle Korver.
Mm,
And at 8, I have Damian Lillard.
mm.
Okay, I have at 10 I have Kyle Korver. At 9 I got Damian Lillard and I got Steve Nash at 8.
At 9, you have Damian Lillard,
Yeah.
and you have Steve Nash at 8.
Yeah.
Okay. At 10, I have Kyrie Irving. Okay. At 9, I have Kevin Durant. And at 8, I have Steve Nash.
Okay. Looks like we agree on Steve
Okay.
Nash.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, right off the bat, I think there's a little bit of a discrepancy because I think Carson may have, or I don't know about both of you, but like, did you guys make this like as pure three-point shooting or just shooting in general?
Shooting in general, right? Not just three-pointer.
I mean,
Yeah.
shooting in general, but
What about you,
three-point
Carson?
shooting is like probably the
It's much,
biggest.
yeah. One of the
Yeah.
biggest.
Okay, okay. That's what I did too. But I think maybe I value middies a little bit more than you guys do.
Uh-huh.
Well, I have Kevin Durant.
I have Kevin Durant
Yeah.
up
Yeah, I have Kevin
Oh,
Durant up there.
oh, you have Kevin Durant higher. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I mean,
But
I also
I
included
don't
free
I
throws.
don't really have I don't really have a problem with any of these guys
Yeah.
like that we named on here. I'm just gonna say for right now that I don't have Steve Nash or Kyrie Irving on my list.
Yeah, okay.
I don't have Kyrie
But
Great.
like
Irving.
I don't think but like I think all of like I don't know. I was debating Steve Kerr and Steve Nash. The
Yeah.
only reason I put Steve Kerr is just like you kind of have to give respect to like the highest 3-point percentage of all time.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's why Steve Kerr got the nod over Steve Nash for me.
Okay.
I think we move on to uh 765.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. At 7, I have Reggie Miller.
Okay.
At 6, I have James Harden. And at 5, I have Larry Bird.
Okay.
Okay, for me I got Larry Bird at 7th. And I got Dirk Nowitzki at 6th and Reggie Miller at 5th.
And Reggie Miller at 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Interesting.
For me, I got Larry Bird at 7. I have Kyle Korver at 6. And I
Wow.
have
Okay.
Damian
I
Lillard
respect that. I
at
respect
5.
that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, that's very interesting. Because that means that, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about Kyle
Okay.
Korver. Let's talk about Kyle Korver, Carson.
Oh, let's talk about Kyle Korver. Why I have him so high?
Yeah.
Well, he played for
You
like
have him above KD, Larry
Mhm.
Bird, Kyrie, Steve Nash.
Wait,
Yeah,
no,
because
no,
I think
let's
about
not talk about that. No, before we talk about that, Ryan, do you realize what this means? That means between Reggie Miller, Klay Thompson, Ray Allen, and James Harden, one of these 4 people is not on Carson's
yeah.
list.
I have James Harden on my list.
Wait, no, Carson is like the biggest James Harden glazer. James Harden is going to be on this list. I think he might
Uh-huh.
have left Reggie Miller off the list.
Oh, we'll see. Yeah, you're right. It's between one of the two, though. So you guys are right. It's between Reggie
What do you
Miller.
mean one of the two? It's between one of the 4.
No,
Actually,
I'm
no.
like,
Klay Thompson. No,
no,
Klay
I'm
Thompson
saying
and Ray
it's
Allen are definitely on the
yeah.
list,
That's what I'm saying.
and
Like,
he's like the
it's
biggest James Harden stan. So Reggie Miller's not on this
Yeah, so
list.
he didn't
Kind of
didn't say
surprised.
not even in top 10 is crazy though.
Yeah. Also, Kyle Korver is kind of crazy.
yeah,
Not
I might be a
okay,
little recency
at
biased,
6
but
is pretty high,
we'll
but
see. We'll
Kyle
see.
Korver is a great shooter.
No, if we're talking about pure shooting, like, because he didn't have, I guess, the same. I mean, he did have the volume as well. I really
He
like.
did.
There's really no reason why he should be any lower than like 7. And you guys have him at 9 and 10. But yeah,
Just because he's not shooting the way these other guys are,
he is.
Like
His
his
whole
his
career was just
shooting,
shooting.
So all he
yeah, but
does is throw like that. Yeah.
his shooting
He,
bag is not like that.
It is like that.
he's a spot up shooter. He doesn't need a dribble or anything. Like he doesn't
He doesn't need
like
to.
he's a 43% career 3-point shooter. That's really high, but again, he
Yeah, but
doesn't.
he only shoots catch and
Yeah,
shoot.
And that's enough to like basically run the offense. The Atlanta Hawks offense, right, in that 2015, 2016, it was literally just like Kyle Korver. Him running around like
I
seven.
still think it's crazy. You have KD at ninth when Kyle Korver is at sixth, though. You think KD
Well,
is that much worse as a shooter
no, I
than
don't
him?
think he's necessarily worse, but when I look at it like Steve Nash, right? Him,
Steve Nash is a
like when you
really
think of
low
Steve
volume
Nash,
shooter.
yeah, he was really low volume and he was so efficient, right? But when I think about Steve Nash, I think about passing, right? Kevin Durant, like scoring, yes, shooting is a very big part of that, but like that's not like he can do so many different things. I think it help him get some
Yeah,
space.
but like
Is this
almost
not a
all of
Great
shooter's
his
list?
finisher.
scoring,
Is this not a shooter's
almost
list?
all of his
Yeah, this
scoring
is a
comes from
shooter's list.
shooting.
Oh, it's a
Why
shooter's
does
list. Why are
assist
you mad
matter?
that Kyle Korver is so high?
No,
If
why are
anything, he
you?
might be higher. I might be putting him too low at 6. Yeah.
Okay.
No, if this was pure 3-point shooting or like a catch and shoot list, I would say that's fair. But like, there's so many other things to shooting than catch and shoot threes.
It's the shooting, 3-point shooting is the biggest factor that I considered for my list. I don't know if that the same
Also,
applies for you.
I'd like to, I'll just like mark this down as like some Carson like delusional, like weird, some weird, one of those weird takes that Carson just has sometimes. But Ryan, care to talk a little about Dirk Nowitzki and why he's on this list?
He's literally the one that pioneered a big guy shooting shots.
Yeah, but okay, I understand. If you're talking about like a big man shooting list, then sure, you can like put him up there. In fact, you might put him at number one. But like, this is not big man shooting. And like, I understand you want to give him his respect. But like, let's be honest. Compared to the rest of the guys on these lists, he's not really at that level. Like, every time we talk about, like, it's the same thing with Karl Anthony Towns. It's like we say, oh, he's a
Shooting
great
got him a
shooter.
championship. His
He's a
shooting got
great
him a
shooter.
championship from the Miami Heat.
Huh?
His shooting got him a championship.
I don't know if it's his shooting that got him a championship. It's his shooting plus like 10 other different things.
Yeah, I
Like,
would agree. Dirk Nowitzki is an overrated shooter.
yeah, like whenever you talk about great Dirk Nowitzki as a great shooter, you almost always follow it up with for a big man. He's a great shooter for a big man,
Yeah.
right?
He
And
made
also,
the he
once
made the
again,
mid-range and like
just
high post
same
a
thing,
lethal zone
same
for his
thing
time.
but the same thing as Kyle Korver. His shooting bag is so limited. Like he only has like that one move, right?
What?
And
Oh,
he has
dude.
like
That's disrespectful to Dirk Nowitzki.
that is very disrespectful. But
That
like
is very
he really
disrespectful.
only has like a small range where he shoots from. He
What?
doesn't really shoot threes,
Yeah,
and
he
like
does.
not really.
He's the leading 3 points made for
No, but we're talking about compared to
power
the
forward or
rest
center.
of the list. Obviously,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a like once again for a big man or like for like a normal player. But when we're talking about top 10 shooters of all time, he's not. He doesn't really shoot the three like that.
I'm not mad that he's on the list. Just 6 is a
It
little
doesn't have to
high.
be 3-pointers. I mean,
Yeah.
his signature shot is that one leg fadeaway elbow shot.
Yeah, but like maybe I'm a hater, and I am a little bit of a hater.
Yeah,
But
you are here.
in fact, let's just make it clear to everybody who watches this show. I'm kind of a hater of all European players.
Okay, that's too much, man. Really?
Yeah, I think other than Jokic, I think European players are soft.
Do you not see how physical EuroLeague is?
Okay, EuroLeague, sure. EuroLeague is physical. Well, they come to the NBA and they're all soft.
Okay, but the game is different. The EuroLeague game and the NBA game.
Okay, yeah, but I'm saying when they come over here, they're all soft.
They're more physical.
That's what I
It
see.
wouldn't it wouldn't play
I
the
don't
same
watch
because
EuroLeague.
EuroLeague for first their courts are smaller
Yeah,
because they're pressing the entire game.
there's more physicality in the EuroLeague, but that's the EuroLeague. The players just aren't as big. The NBA players are bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. So it's different.
And the rules are different. Your league can have this big guy sitting in the paint the entire game.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think Dirk is soft.
Okay.
You're not wrong. I'm not
He
a big.
doesn't need to be. Okay, if you think he's soft because he's not like posting up, then sure. But
No, no, no. It's not because he posted up. It's because he got sick and then disappeared from the game in '06.
Well, you got
okay.
sick in 2011 as well and won. So you get sick a lot.
Yeah. But, so another person that I know that, maybe should deserve to be on this list, actually, got sick and dropped 50. You know,
Mm. Okay.
Is he on your list?
he's not on my list. But actually, now that I think
Okay,
about it,
okay, there you go. There you go. Okay.
now that I think about it, maybe he should have been. All right. I think we can move on to 4-3-2 now.
Yeah.
Starting off with me, I have at 4, I have James Harden.
Okay.
At 3, I have Ray Allen. And at 2, I have Klay Thompson.
Wait, you had James Harden at 6.
I did?
Yeah.
Wait, I swear I did not. Oh, wait, no. At 4, I have Kevin Durant. My
Okay.
bad.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
4
me
Yeah,
guys.
too. I
at
have
3,
Kevin
I
Durant
have
at
Ray
4.
Allen. At 2, I have Klay Thompson.
Wait, that's the exact same as me.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Four.
actually no. I have Ray Allen above Clay.
Oh, okay. 4, 3, 2. All right. For my final 3, I have
If James Harden's
Clay.
at 2,
Hmm?
James Harden might be at 2. Oh, my.
I have Clay at 4. Okay. And final 2. Okay. Final 2. I have Ray Allen at 2.
Okay. Okay.
So who do I have at 3? I'm between Reggie Miller, James Harden, Steve Kerr,
Nah, Steve Kerr's not in this conversation. It's
Nikola
just Reggie Miller
Jokic,
and James Harden.
Nikola
Stop it.
Jokic,
If you say Nikola Jokic, if you say Nikola Jokic, I'm leaving this Zoom call.
and JJ Redick. All right, these are my final 5 for the number 3 spot.
It's really just Reggie and James, and it's James.
And they have predicted it, my fellow co-host. James Harden is number 3 on my all-time best shooters.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Uh,
I realize there's a problem with my formula because in a situation of Dirk Nowitzki and Steve Kerr, no one else has them ranked, so the average is
Yes.
mm,
Yes.
it's
It
all
only
so
right.
the
works
average is
when
what?
we're picking from the same list.
Mm. Wait. Let me. Okay, there we go. Okay, so in this situation, see, Dirk should be below Reggie Miller. Oh wait, that's
It's
fine. That's
okay.
fine.
That's fine.
We'll
Yeah,
just
it's
give
okay.
we'll just give him 11. We'll just give him 11. All right, and we'll give him 11,
Yeah.
and then we'll give him 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. Now it's solved. We can just assume that they're 11, even though they're not. These
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
not my 11. Okay, so this is our final top 10 best shooters of all time in NBA. At number 10, oh, there's a tie between Steve
No,
Kerr and Kyrie.
you have to put 11 for James Harden and Ryan.
Yeah.
I
It's
didn't.
on my list, bro.
Oh, my bad. He's not on your. Oh my goodness, bro. How is he not on your list? That's
I was
crazy.
like, yeah, that's too high for James Harden.
Okay.
I don't hate this list.
At number 10, we have Kyrie Irving. At number 9, Steve Kerr. Number 8, Dirk Nowitzki. Number 7, Steve Nash.
No, number 10 is Kyle
This is
Korver, bro. The
13
other guys
players,
didn't make
bro.
the list.
This is
What?
13 players.
Oh, there's 13 players. Wait.
It starts
Wait,
with
you're right.
Steve
You're
Nash
right.
is
There are
10.
13 players. So number
Oh my
10, it
goodness,
starts
bro.
at Steve Nash. Number 10 starts at Steve Nash. Okay. Number 10, Steve Nash, with an average ranking of 9th. Number 9, Kyle Korver for average ranking of 8.3. Number 8, Reggie Miller for average ranking of 7.6. Number 7, right? Number 7, Damian Lillard with 7.3. Number 6, James Harden,
You want
6.
to zoom in so people can see?
Oh, okay, zoom in. Sure. There we go. James Harden, 6.7. Number 5, Larry Bird, 6.3. Number 4, Kevin Durant. Wait, how did he still get number 4? Okay. 5.6. 3, Clay. 2, Ray Allen. Number 1, Steph Curry. No surprise. Um, yeah, I'm kind of surprised Kevin Durant is still 4th, even though I had him 9. I'm not mad with this list. I'm
Why are
not.
you surprised? He's one of the best shooters. He's a top 5 shooter ever. Like you're hating this. Your hating was not enough.
My hating. Just 2 episodes ago, you were hating on Kevin Durant, and I thought
You're
Kevin Durant was.
crazy.
I think Kevin Durant is like the single best basketball player of all time. I'm thinking Michael Jordan or Kevin Durant. So I'm not a Kevin Durant hater. I'm not.
Okay.
I just understand and I appreciate the fact that his finishing is so great that it helps him shooting. It helps his shooting a lot. You know, he does all these things. So good at basketball. Um, I can't put his shooting that high. Great shooter, one of the greatest shooters of all time.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. At this point in his career, he's not really finishing around the rim like that. It's really just shooting them.
Yeah, and he's still a good shooter.
Yes, that's why he deserves his spot.
He's definitely better than James Harden.
No, it's different though.
James Harden just has a dumb double step back.
James Harden is a volume shooter, you know. Like, yeah, his efficiency isn't that high. But in terms of
No,
like,
I don't know.
it's different. It's different.
Maybe I should have put Dame ahead of James Harden actually. Because like
Yeah.
Carson, tell us about what Dame did to the Denver Nuggets that one playoff series.
It was like this one game. It was like game 5, 2021.
50 points, double over. Wait, is it double overtime or one
Yeah,
overtime?
double overtime. Damian Lillard scored 55. Nuggets still won though, because CJ McCollum stepped out of bounds. Um, but yeah, that day, as a Denver Nuggets fan, I have never been so scared of a player ever in my life. Like in one that was insane. Like Damian Lillard scored like 30 in fourth quarter plus overtime, and just like 3 after 3, and was just pulling up from logo with like 2 people on him. But yeah, so
Yeah.
like when Damian Lillard
And
gets
when he finally missed a shot, Austin
yeah,
Rivers was on his knees.
yeah, Oscar was on his knees like thanking God. But when Damian Lillard gets hot, like he might be number 1. Like yeah, actually after Curry, because Curry gets hot as well. Right?
Okay,
But
but Damian
No,
Lillard's 3-point range is
when
way
Clay get no, stop
than
it, stop it. No, stop. When getting hot, Clay is number 1.
I mean Clay did have 37 in one quarter, so yeah, he got really hot. He has the record. But
Actually, you know who's number 1 when getting hot? Aaron Nesmith.
no, my goodness. But we can end it.
Aaron
We can end
Nesmith.
it. We can.
All right,
Where
so
were
he had like
you
what?
when Aaron Nesmith
How many threes did
invented
he
the game
make
of
in the
basketball?
last like 4 minutes?
He made
Was
like
it 4
4 or
or
6.
5.
6.
Okay,
I mean,
Yeah.
6 in 4 minutes, and if you take that into 48 minutes,
bro, that's one game. Okay,
Well, yeah, that's kind of what getting hot is, though. It's one game.
it's not one game. It's not.
Okay.
Dame does it over and over again. So does Clay. So
Well,
does
yeah. Obviously, I'm kidding, but still, yeah.
man.
okay.
Now, finally, before we leave, I actually did not tell Carson or Ryan about this segment because I wanted to surprise them, and just to be clear, I did not like study in advance, so this is like a trivia pop quiz. Okay?
Oh,
I did not study in advance to keep this fair.
Trivia.
Okay,
Okay.
so
okay, how do I
in
stop?
light
Never mind. I'll figure it out.
in light of the NBA draft, we are going to have a competition of who can name more number 1 overall picks in order, like starting from this year and going back. How many number 1 overall picks can you name? And then we'll go over, like you know that thing where like you say I can name 1, and then you keep going around until
Oh,
we think someone can't do it, and we have them name them.
okay.
All right. I'll start, and we'll go. The order will be me, Carson, Ryan, and
Okay.
we'll go in that
Just
order.
one by
Okay?
one.
No. Just like saying how many you can name. So I think I can name one first overall pick.
You said
Oh,
what? You
and we
can
I
gotta
think
name
I
go
can
one.
name one.
from I
And
guess
then you
2025.
guys keep raising the number until one of you guys like I think you're until one of us thinks the other
Oh,
person's like bluffing.
Okay, we start
so
from
I think
asking
I
in
can do
order
2025.
from last year all the way back, like how many consecutive years you can name?
Yeah.
Man, I'm not gonna do very good at this.
I think.
Oh, you said one, right? Okay. Well,
I
man,
said one.
I'll play safe. I'll go two.
But I can name at least like 5 or 6, I think. 6 probably.
All right, six.
I think I can do 10.
For the last 10 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So to 2020
That's
2014.
2015.
Not including this year. So
No,
2014.
2016 because it's including this year.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
you're
Later this year. Okay, 2016. Um, okay. And that's my turn.
Hmm.
yeah. 10 is
11.
a lot, bro. 10 is a lot.
11.
Wait, do I have to keep going up? Okay, 12.
I mean, do you have to?
No. If you don't think Carson can do it, then you can
Uh,
just tell him to do it.
But does Ryan think he can do it? Like, if he doesn't think he can do
Well,
it,
I think I can do 15.
I think 12 is my limit.
you
I think I
think
can do
you?
15.
Oh,
Okay,
wait.
let's see if Joshua do 15. You're
Yeah,
not doing
yeah,
15.
yeah,
Joshua
yeah.
can do
I'm
15.
gonna see this. I'm gonna see this because yeah. Oh, let's see this. 15.
Okay, so 15. Counting
Yeah,
back 15 years.
15. Starting
Go
from
ahead.
5. Okay.
Zachary Risachet, Victor
Whoa.
Wembanyama,
Restart. We heard from Reese.
Pal
I think you cut off. Yeah.
Risachet. Okay, wait. So Cooper
Okay,
Flag,
I hear
Yeah.
you.
Zachary Risachet,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Victor Wembanyama, Paolo Banchero.
Yeah.
yes.
I'm trying to think if there's one in the middle that I'm missing. Paolo's 2022,
Yeah,
and then Cade Cunningham,
yeah.
Yeah.
right? 2020 is Anthony Edwards.
Yeah,
2019 Zion Williamson.
right.
2018.
Oh.
Oh shoot. No, I know this.
Those are still easy. I feel like this is recent
Oh,
history.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
DeAndre
Yeah.
Ayton, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
2017. Is that Karl Anthony Towns?
No.
No. Wait. Is it over? Is it over?
No. Oh no.
That
It's
would be
Markel
Is
one,
it
Fultz.
two,
over?
three, four,
It's
five,
Markel
six. That would be
Fultz.
7 years,
It's
bro. That would be
Markel
7 years.
Fultz.
No. Wait, is that not 8? Did I not get
That's
8?
7. Oh, eight. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
including this
8.
year.
That's 8.
Yeah,
What?
8.
This is the Markel
Right.
Fultz. This is a Jason
No.
Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Michael.
Oh.
Yeah. Ben Simmons. Well, actually, Ben
And then
Simmons
the
was in the draft
currently.
before that, but he was out for a season. Yeah, this is Markel
You're
Fultz.
right.
Yeah.
So is number 1 like Markel
Yeah, it was Markel Fultz.
Fultz, and then Ben Simmons,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then it's Cat,
Yeah.
And then it's Cat.
and then it's Andrew Wiggins, and
Yeah.
then it's Anthony Bennett, and then Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Well
Yeah, well,
done, bro.
I got 8.
Wait, who's before
That's
Davis?
unfortunate.
Davis is 2011, 2010, John Wall. Yeah,
Kyrie.
Yeah,
2011
John
was
Wall.
Kyrie.
Oh yeah,
2010
Kyrie,
John Wall.
and then
Oh, Kyrie and then
it's
John Wall.
John Wall, and then after John Wall is Derrick Rose. Before John Wall is Derrick
Nah.
Rose.
After John Wall is Blake Griffin, and then it's Derrick
Blake
Rose.
and then Derek.
Oh,
Yeah.
Blake Griffin, then Derrick Rose.
2009 Blake.
All right, I wasn't getting 15, but I should have gotten better than 8. I should have gotten like 13.
Oh. Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
What could I have? Nah. I
Nah,
think
I
that's
couldn't
the
have
best.
gone more.
I think the Bennett Wiggins, from 2013 to from 2012 to 2015. I might get the order a little messed up. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I just wanted to like try this out, and I think
Yeah.
this has been okay. So I think
Yeah.
we'll be doing
Something
more
similar.
of these at the end of shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also because these are really easy to turn into shorts.
Yeah. Okay.
Something that I've been wanting to do
Yeah.
and still have not done yet. So
Okay.
Yeah. All
I
right.
was
Thank you
watching
guys.
on the
Oh,
Markel Fultz. I'm like, oh, you're probably not gonna get that one. If you stumble, it's probably Markel Fultz because he disappeared.
yeah, that's true. I forgot about Markel Fultz. I actually forgot about Ben Simmons too. I just went straight to Carlton Towns.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Yeah. Uh, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, and then comment and tell Carson that Trae Young is not that good.
Yeah. Okay.